Originally, I was only excited for one RPG to come out from Square Enix this year. That's the September 4th release of Dragon Quest XI on the PlayStation 4. But I'm a big fan of Bravely Default. And after 2 glorious demos, I was really excited to pre-order Octopath Traveler on the Nintendo Switch. This is the Wayfarer's edition. It's kind of like a storybook pop-up little thing, and I figured today on the show, we'll open her up. So I really like the way that Octopath Traveler's Wayfarer's edition is kind of all nice and self-contained in this like storybook kind of case. And the fact that the case itself, this big old thing, is a piece of the edition. This is an 8-page pop-up book. So there's these little diorama scenes from the game. And it's not just one, which I actually thought it was when they announced this edition. I thought there was just one scene that you could actually see from Primrose's story, one of the characters in the game. But there's not, there's more. So that's really kind of cool. I'm really excited to actually see what scenes they are because I've played the demo at this point 4 times. There were a couple bugs in the prologue demo. The revival item, one of them, there were 2 that I recall. One of them didn't work in battle. The Olive of Life worked, but then the like branch or the lesser healing item, you couldn't use it on dead characters in a battle. I hope they fix that. There was a couple graphical things too, but honestly, I can overlook a lot because I really liked what the demo had. So I'm really excited to kind of look at this. So the Wayfarer's edition includes a double-sided world map of the main continent in the game, the sound selection CD. That's probably the thing I'm most disappointed about. Sound selection CDs, of course, they could make money by selling the full soundtrack, but I'm going to compare this special edition, I think, to the other one that I got recently, and that's Ni no Kuni 2's Revenant Kingdom Premium Edition. It did come with this nice like steelbook case. It came with the sound selection itself, which is like 4 tracks, maybe 3, like the world map, the main theme, and all that. And the main theme of Ni no Kuni is the main theme of the first game as well. Not that it's by any means not a good song or been changed a little bit for the second game, but really disappointing that the sound selection was so sparse. And I've since found like the full soundtrack, and I know that they had other versions of this edition that you could buy for Ni no Kuni. So I think you could get a complete soundtrack with the game's release there, but this was just one edition that you could buy, whereas with the Octopath Traveler collection, the Wayfarer's edition, I think this is it. This is as premium as it gets, and they put a lot of effort, it looks like, into the book itself, but still a sound selection CD. I really hope there's more than 2-3 songs on it. We'll see, because the soundtrack is really good in the demo, so I imagine in the full game it's going to be even better. This is a delicate operation. That's a piece of Ni no Kuni's paper diorama that came out of the case when I was shaking it around. It's also like this is a thin paper box, and I don't want to get rid of the box, you know, but I sneeze and I'll break that thing. It just fell over. Okay. So what I'm noticing at first is the plastic case itself is where it says Wayfarer's Edition on it, as well as the Switch logo. So the box itself, this bookcase, doesn't have any of that like video game branding, which I think is pretty cool. And wow, that is neat. I was right when we were looking at it through the plastic case. This is like, this ain't cheap cardboard. This is good stuff. I imagine my, because they're canceling Best Buy Gamers Club, they're gonna start mistreating some of the box corners on their stuff. There's a little nick there. You'll have that, So it's looked like from the back of the packaging that it's gonna open from like the top. It looks skinnier on the back of the package than it actually like does for real. I don't know if it's just like a perspective thing or if I'm just an idiot, but that's kind of neat. It definitely is a bit more imposing to see in person, but it looks cool. It's got this nice little weathering on the side of it instead of just being like a flat brown thing. I mean, I haven't even opened the box yet, and I'm already like, oh, it's a nice little book. All right, so let's open up the actual pop-up book. Oh, okay. So it's got these like bits, these like sections, I guess. Let's look at this bottom part first. And okay, so one of the things that's happened at some point is my coin fell out. So we'll just put that back. Yeah, it's not going to stay in there. Wow. That is so cool. The coin, this is a leaf coin, it's the currency in the game. This, I mean, it's a replica, but I thought it was going to be flat, like, but this has got I mean, this is a relief. I mean, this is really nice. It's shiny, it's not heavy. I mean, it's got a couple, dings in it and scratches. It's got a small amount of weathering to it. I don't know if we'll figure out in the game who this Julius Caesar style character is, that crazy cat on the front of the coin, the heads of it, but it's got a nice shine to it. It's got a great amount of detail that I really was not expecting. Even the picture on the back of the box, I mean, I really thought it was just kind of could be like real thick cardboard or something like what the box is made of. I mean, that would not have been that great, but I really wasn't expecting this to be as nice as it is. This reminds me of Lunar 2 Eternal Blue, complete on the PlayStation, came with Lucia's pendant. And one of my greatest gaming regrets is losing that pendant when I was in high school. That I have no idea where it is or wherever it happened. I've moved a lot since then, and I don't have most of stuff from that game, and that's one of the things I've been getting back into is these collector's editions, and I want to make sure I keep everything because this stuff is so cool. Okay, so next in it here, we've got the actual game itself, the little Switch case. I've always really liked the Switch cases. I like how svelte they are. They're very, very, very slim, very sexy. All right, so just looked at the actual game case. Next up is the cloth map. It's a double-sided map, and even, wow, just looking at it through the plastic, that is some nice, there's some nice stitching going on there. Obviously, of course, it's going to be printed onto this material, but it looks like a nice quality print. It doesn't seem like it's all that blurry. Let's take a look at it out of the package. It's got a nice rough, it's not quite burlap, but it feels cool. That's neat. So the first side that you see is the all 8 characters on the front. That's really neat. And then the other side is the world map, and it's so colorful, it's actually kind of hard to tell. So yeah, I'm gonna have to smooth this thing out, I think. One of the things that I was worried about in the demo was how small the world might be, but then they say it's like a 100-hour RPG, so it's like, well, it can't be small then. But this map, which of course shows you some of the roads and places you can go, it looks like, versus the in-game map is kind of blank until you go through it, makes me think that the game is a lot bigger than it is. Because in the demo, I mean, like I said, I played it 4 times, and on the 4th one, I literally got all 4. I got half the party. You can just, I mean, you go in a big circle, you just get everybody. It takes like almost no time at all. So obviously the world expands out quite a bit from that kind of central first area around this like middle body of water. So that's really neat. I'm hoping that there are a lot more towns, and it looks like there are. It's a nice material. The map, I think, is it's a little fuzzier than I kind of would hope. I think maybe for something like this, where it's on this material, that it wasn't so detailed at this size, because it makes some of the details kind of hard to make out. Kind of like it's like a contrast issue in some parts, especially on this region to the left. You can kind of see what everything is, but maybe I'm just getting old. But it just seems like it could have been sharper, and I bet like a high-res PDF of this would look amazing, printed out like on a poster wall or something. But this is still cool. But I really like this side with the characters and the party. This is one of the promotional images that you've seen a lot for the game, and this is one of those images that was one of the things I was worried the most about after playing the demo of this game was, are the characters really going to interact? Because their first chapter stories have nothing to do with each other. And at this point, I've not played, I haven't opened the case yet, so I don't know that much about it. I try to not look up too many reviews for a game that I'm really excited to play. But I'm really hoping that as the game progresses, the characters that you recruit interact with each other more, because that's one of the best things about Bravely Default is all the ways the characters interact with each other and they argue, and the voice acting is really good, and the voice acting in Octopath is stellar. So I really want to see these characters work together and actually interact and not just be mannequins that you go through episodes with. I love Dragon Quest III and Dragon Quest IX, but the party members in those games don't matter at all in terms of the story. And these guys matter to their own stories, but I hope that they matter to the other character stories as well. So hopefully, here later this summer, when I'm done with the game and we can talk about it on the show again, we'll know kind of more about how that's going to work out. So, all right, and then the last thing in the box itself is, the Octopath Traveler sound selections, and there are 14 tracks. How about that? So there's the main theme, and then all 8 characters, 2 battle themes, 3 battle themes, 2, I believe, probably boss battle themes, the Decisive Battle 1 and 2, and then that 3rd battle theme. So this is nice because, like I said, these other sound selections I've gotten in other collections have been pretty sparse, and while I'm sure there are far more than 14 songs in this game, this is a sound selection and not a sampler, and that's what I was kind of worried about with it. I have to hook up my CD burner to my USB CD drive to rip this stuff and take a listen to it, or pop it in the old car. My Toyota Camry will be enjoying some Octopath music. I really wish this came in a jewel case, to be honest, because I have broken CDs like this, so it will not stay in this case for long. You know what I'll probably do is I'll rip the CD, I'll time shift it, I'll rip it to the computer, and then I will put everything back into the box, because this box is nice and thick, and I'm not going to break this CD. Because I've done that, because there's no protect. So now we've looked at all the main goodies. Let's look at the pop-up book. So let's go through. Oh wow. Okay, so how does it work? How do I leave it upright? That's the thing. I want to be able to do this to where I can easily just kind of show it to you guys, but I guess I'm just going to have to get other footage of it. Maybe you don't leave it up. That's the thing. Okay, I'm a little worried I'm gonna break it. I don't think you're supposed to leave it displayed, because like even, I mean, yeah, it just kind of sits there like that, but I mean, it looks cool. I'm glad I don't have to cut it out and assemble it myself because I know how that will end. You know, these are all scenes from like the first chapter of everybody's story. Yeah, of course, Primrose's is the big one. It's the one in the promotional image, the dancer Primrose's bar in the sunshade. Oh yeah, I just tried to move that down. I can see the glue move a bit. Oh boy, I mean, knowing me, I'm just doing it wrong. But because I really thought you would be able to just kind of like leave it upright, like they have in the image. Now they do something different. Well, I thought maybe maybe there's a way to like latch it or something here. Because like there we go. Like something like where it's like this is totally where I thought it would be. But as soon, you know, if I let go, it falls apart. So that's, I mean, it's still super cool. I mean, I'm like totally impressed that you get all 8 of these like first chapter, these definitive kind of things. It's interesting to see some of these scenes without like the bloom effect that the game actually has in all the scenes. But I really, really wish you could like flatten it out and like actually leave it upright so you could see it more. Because if you, I don't know, I didn't have like a lot of pop-up books as a kid or anything, but I have a feeling that you could open them and like lay them out like the Yoshi's Story level select, and they would be fine. But this, maybe if you look at it like this, I don't know. Maybe I screwed it up. Maybe I broke it when I opened it. I mean, I'll have to ask some other people what they've done. And Primrose is like, it doesn't open all the way, so it's got this like jank to it. It's curved up. That's really weird. Like if I push it out more, it's like that. Guys, I don't know. I really want to be super excited about it because I am, but I have to admit, you can probably tell I'm a bit disappointed. I feel like I'm gonna break it. Alphen's scene here is the one that's really worrying me because I can see the glue on the corner. So that's something. It's still neat. The coin is definitely my favorite part of this. Well, for one thing, I can just look at it without it doing anything crazy. Yeah, now that the weight's all on the end of it, I can look straight at it, and it's kind of neat. And it is neat because the game itself does present itself as this sort of pop-up style, and I really like that. The game is gorgeous. I have some issues with the scaling of the sprites in the game. There's that weird kind of pixel filtering that happens when in the battle scenes where things shift around. If I had to pick a favorite one of these scenes, it might be Tessa's was kind of good, but the ship is all kind of like, it's a bit hard to get it all quite on the right plane. I could, you know, this one part is like bending more than the other, than this side. Primrose is definitely cool, but it's again, this with the weird thing with the walls. I don't get it. Therion's I like I said, it's all the scenes from their first chapter, but there's stuff missing. Like there's a table that's in Therion's scene that's not in this scene that's depicted here. And I only really know that because I played Therion's scene, his first chapter, like a lot. Hannett's is good. Hannett's chapter is really pretty interesting, and she's a really cool character. So that's Octopath Traveler's Wayfarer's edition, this really cool pop-up storybook with 8 scenes in it, but still really neat. The box itself is really nice, but the thing I really am the most impressed with is definitely this coin. of the leaf currency in the game. This is really neat. I mean, this is a nice like theater prop kind of thing. This is really neat. It's got a nice shine to it. It's got a nice weight. Sounds like a coin, so that's definitely really neat. The fact that the sound selection is not 3 or 4 songs is a plus, absolutely. And then the map is really, really neat. These kinds of things I wish were in more games. The Wayfarer's edition for Octopath Traveler is really neat. Is it worth double the price? Not double, but $40 more than the standard edition of the game? I don't know. The fact that I couldn't get the Popup Book to stand upright is a little sad. The coin is definitely really cool. The map is neat. If you can find it in stock, I would totally probably pick it up. I like that even the inside flap of the book has got like another version of the map on it. Later this summer, we're going to be working our way through the game, and I will have a video on it to give you my thoughts on the full experience. But as of right now, the Wayfarer's edition's pretty neat. Totally love this little kit that you get with everything. And the prologue demo, I don't think is going anywhere on the eShop. So if you've been on the fence about the game at all, that's a 3-hour demo. You can play as many times as you want. You just get one save file, and you can just overwrite it if you want. But you can transfer that data to the retail version of the game. So it's basically the first part of the game for free. So you really can decide if you want to commit to it or not. But I have a feeling that once the world opens up a bit more, Octopath Traveler is going to be a really neat experience, and I'm really looking forward to it.